I was 27 and already diagnosed with a thyroid problem on medication and was spent every waking moment. I wasn't at work in bed. I went to bed at 3:30 every day in the afternoon and was resting enough to recover from my day and prepare for the next day in bed, and did that for the better part of a year. Could not get the help I needed, was just repeatedly honestly dismissed and told, eat less, exercise more. All these thyroid symptoms you're having aren't due to your thyroid. Your labs are fine, and sent on my merry way.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Christina Rahm, and I have the pleasure of interviewing McCall McPherson. And I just said to her, her name sounds like Mary Poppins to me. It's like a fairy tale name. It's a great name.
Thank you.
It really is. Do people say that to you?
They do. They're always enamored with my name. I didn't like it at first, and now I've fully adapted and embraced it. So I've arrived.
That's really great. But you've done amazing things for healthcare, and I want to focus on that. You are a physician associate. And we were talking about that. I explained earlier I thought it was physician assistant, and you said that they've changed that right across the board.
Yeah, we
So,
are in the process of changing. So it's all new for us. Yeah.
I would love my audience because we have an international audience. So because of our companies and what we do, explain to the audience what that means in the United States.
Mhm.
And even maybe tell them how every state's different. Like I think most countries don't know that. We have people visiting from Austria, Germany, and Switzerland right now. And I would love for them to hear your comment and everyone else in our audience to hear.
Yeah. So physician assistants, now referred to as physician associates, were created, gosh, almost probably getting close to 100 years ago now, to fill a gap in medicine where we didn't have access to enough healthcare. We certainly still do not. And so we are trained in the same model of medicine as a physician. We do not go to residency though. And we're board certified in every specialty of medicine, and we actually have to recertify in every specialty, which is a little challenging. But we always work in conjunction or in collaboration with a physician. So if I have a question, if I need something, I always have a physician that is tied to my license, at least in Texas, where I can ask questions and get support. Obviously, the longer we practice, the less support we need, but it is particular to the United States, Australia, and the UK, I believe. Maybe China is, and Canada as well, but we're not everywhere yet, but we're hoping to be.
That's wonderful. Well, we definitely have a lack of medical professionals in the United States in a lot of different areas, but you focused on thyroid health, correct?
Correct.
What made you make that decision?
Yeah. I was 27 and already diagnosed with a thyroid problem on medication, and was spent every waking moment. I wasn't at work in bed. I went to bed at 3:30 every day in the afternoon and was resting enough to recover from my day and prepare for the next day in bed, and did that for the better part of a year. Could not get the help I needed, was just repeatedly honestly dismissed and told, eat less, exercise more. All these thyroid symptoms you're having aren't due to your thyroid. Your labs are fine, and sent on my merry way. And eventually, after about 9 or 10 months, I found someone to actually help me, completely changed my entire life, and then quickly became a mentor to me. And I started, basically getting a hold of any medical data, any journals, any mentoring opportunities that I could, specializing in thyroid. And I ended up getting very good at it. And organically, honestly, patients built up my practice in thyroid without me marketing myself as that, by just helping them. And they created Modern Thyroid Clinic almost on behalf of me to a degree. So it's been a really, really sacred journey. I've been in this space for about a decade now, and am just grateful.
That's amazing. Do you do it online or do they have to come into your clinic?
We started brick and mortar in Austin, Texas, and we just had people flying in from all over the country all the time. And so now we are nationwide in telemedicine.
That's amazing. I love to hear that because I feel like when you have a gift as a scientist or a medical doctor in any way, you need to be heard, and you can't, not just in your city. You heard me talk about earlier, every country should be connected, because here's one of the things that was so hard for me. I worked in oncology for years and hematology and with rare disorders, and it was so frustrating to know to know something in one country and
Mhm.
yet the other country didn't have that. And then I was always in a unique position because I would know the patient, right? Because when you do
Yeah.
investigator-sponsored trials, you know the patient. And it's just frustrating that you don't have these experts. So I was one of the people that years ago, huge proponent of telemedicine, because I believe that if you're in the United States and you need to consult with an expert in an area in science or medicine that's in any other country, you should be able to, right? That should not be, as a human being, you have the right to hear that opinion. So let me ask you this. What was the life-changing opinion? Like, what was the life-changing scientific information that you feel like really started the foundation of building upon how to help people with thyroid issues?
For me, it started like with my own pain to purpose journey, right? And the thing that triggered and elicited my complete turnaround was getting access to active thyroid hormone medication. Basically, 99.9% of people in America who are on thyroid medication are on a form of levothyroxine, so
Yeah.
Synthroid, Tirosint, Unithroid. That is entirely inactive hormone. And sadly, so many women, if not the vast majority of them, will never be able to activate enough of that medication to get their lives back. And so they're left persistently with fatigue and weight gain and hair loss and low libido and all the things, despite being on medication and despite their clinician telling them that their labs are, quote, normal. And it is such an easy thing to fix if they can land in the hands of someone that knows how to effectively use medications with active hormone like Armour, Renthyroid, NP, Cytomel, liothyronine. These are life-changing, like very safe, effective medications that are not being utilized in the traditional approach.
Why?
I know, it's really sad. I mean, honestly, our medical training is incredibly outdated at this point with thyroid, and we have sort of accepted these core pillars and we base all of our research off of them and never actually go back to first principle thinking, asking ourselves, are these medications working?
Yeah.
Is this the right approach? Instead, we're making all of these assumptions that this one medication option, basically it truly is just one, should work for everyone. And then we're building off of the research with that assumption, and it's flawed.
So how do you get this information out there? Because to me, this is not fair. Like, this is not fair that women are being prescribed the wrong medication that can't. And I have plenty of friends, and these are amazing women that have issues with the thyroid and they're exhausted, right? They
Yep.
are just, they can't make it through a day. They can't get up in the morning. And then the problem with that, and I say this a lot, that you gain weight, there's a lot of stuff that go, but then people treat you differently, like you're to
Mhm.
blame and like something's wrong with you, right?
Yep.
And so I really think it's one of the big issues that people don't talk about. I was diagnosed with a pituitary tumor when I was
Wow.
26. I just had my son, and it impacted everything. Like, I can tell you, my growth hormone shot up. It was the only thing I was happy about because I was losing weight, and
Sleeping, like
I was
building
like, felt
muscle.
like I was 16. Yeah, I was like, it was great. But the truth is, it doesn't ever stay that way. When you've got a tumor or you've got anything in your thyroid or brain or anything hormonally, it will impact you negatively unless you fix it. And there are natural things. Like, I talk a lot about greens. And the reason I talk about greens, greens can hurt or help your thyroid, right? There's certain
Mhm.
greens that can hurt or help. And it's been one of the things that I talk about. But when I talk to most doctors about detox or about, I don't think they understand, because I think most of them do write the script that you're talking
Mhm.
about. And it's basically different variations. I'm sure you know this, but of the same,
Totally.
basically the same thing. It's the same one. It's like they just made it a little bit different, or they added a different name so it has a
Yeah.
different trademark. Yeah.
It's almost like they're attempting to elicit a placebo effect, oh,
Yeah,
well, you don't feel good on levothyroxine. I'll put you on brand name Synthroid. And they'll just run through that
that's
for
right. Yeah.
honestly the most valuable times in a woman's life. And she'll spend those years, those decades needlessly suffering. But to go back to your point, I mean, one of the other sides of this coin is, a lot of thyroid people have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disorder where your body attacks your thyroid gland and then it triggers hypothyroidism. Well, medicine also doesn't believe that that is a condition that can be influenced, that it can be reversed. Whereas the functional and integrative world, herbs, even some greens,
Right.
detox especially, can facilitate the reversal truly of Hashimoto's. I am in remission. I've been in remission for over 10 years. I have so many patients, the same story. But again, medicine isn't updating its viewpoint yet. Hopefully that changes. That these things can be reversed by influencing inflammation, detoxification, all of those things, environmental toxins.
I love that you're saying this. I actually, because we had launched in all these countries, I gathered data, and then
Mm.
I have a thyroid and Hashimoto's patents that we're filing. We just filed non-Hodgkin's,
Wow.
Crohn's, around natural, but that you could make them into pharmaceuticals if you want to add a synthetic. But it's really, for me, it was really important to collect data, to collect case
Hmm.
studies,
Yep.
understanding that I can't claim to cure anything. Actually, let's be honest, no one cures anything. I feel like nature and God have
Yeah.
provided us with things that can help us, and scientists and doctors that can
Mhm.
understand those and educate people. But it's so interesting when people come to me, and I have to be really careful. I don't usually answer questions about the products I make
Mhm.
because I don't want to show favoritism. I don't
Yeah.
want to, I just want people to read the data and the
Yeah.
literature and then make a decision. But when those same people go to a traditional doctor, many times they'll say, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
There's there's no hope. Those things will never help you. And it's very frustrating. I love that you have an approach where you will listen to the patient. And
Yeah.
because you've had that your own experience, it's like me. I don't claim I'm going to cure cancer with anyone, but I've had a lot of types of cancer, right? And I've used traditional at times. I tried, but then I did mostly natural. And I've been criticized for that, but that's my personal choice, right?
Right.
And I think it's so phenomenal that you have this modern thyroid wellness clinic that people can come to, and they get to not hit a brick wall, because the friends that I have, the women that I talk to that are diagnosed with this, they feel guilty. They feel bad
Mhm.
because their doctors are like, it's not working again. We're going to try another medication, and they keep going back and
Yeah.
trying another medication. So I love that that's not your approach. And so your people can basically go to your site and see you as a doctor on telemedicine online.
They can see one of our clinicians. Yes. At this point, I'm not taking any new patients. I'm just kind of preserving my capacity for the patients I've already
Yeah,
served for so long. But we have clinicians all over the country that are incredible. Each one of them have their own thyroid condition. So
yeah,
everyone is approaches it from a viewpoint and perspective of empathy and understanding, which I think is lacking,
yeah.
sadly, in the traditional approach to thyroid. And
Oh,
it's
wait a minute.
incredible.
So all your clinicians have had
Mhm.
a, I love that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then they understand and they're not, so many times I think, I can't, you go to a doctor and you almost feel like they're making fun of you because you can't
Yeah.
get better. And then you feel this guilt. It's like you're running a race or taking a test, right? But
Yes.
the truth is, you just want to be better. I love that you've created that model.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
The
amazing.
women have so many more important things to do than go to the doctor and waste their own time and the
Yeah.
time of the doctor. In medicine, we need to believe women. When they show up and they tell us they're feeling a certain way, we need to believe them and hear them, take it seriously and approach it because they've got a lot of things to do that don't involve sitting in a doctor's office waiting to be seen and being seen.
100%. And let me ask you this, when you put them on a protocol, because they're all
Mhm.
different,
Yeah.
um, are they usually compliant? Because by the time they get to you guys, they really probably want to, yeah.
Yeah, they're invested. We're the last ditch
Yeah.
resort. Like we are the last place people come to. And so they're invested in getting well. And the way that we practice, we do it in such a way, we ask them to do very little upfront at first. Our
Right.
first primary goal is we want to create as much energy as possible
Yeah.
with the least amount of energy input from these people. And then they
Yeah.
can take that improved energy and build from it. Then we can start incorporating lifestyle and supplements and other mechanisms. But until they feel better, we almost ask them to do nothing difficult.
Right. Right. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you follow them. How often do you see them?
Every 3 months until they get their life back. And then it,
Amazing.
lengthens more and more, 6 to 12 months.
Can they come into your office or no? Everything's telemedicine at this point.
Now everything is telemedicine. We let go of our physical space in fall of 2024. Finally, we were like, it's time.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have so many people that you need to serve, and it's just
Yeah.
easier. I love the fact though that you're saving yourself for your patients because I think that's important. I remember seeing 40 to 60 patients a day as a psychologist, and it was just undoable. It was
Yeah.
unlivable. Do you know what I mean? Like it just didn't work. And I want our audience to know where you are. I would love for our audience to find you because we have a very international, natural audience.
Mhm.
Some of our people obviously are on pharmaceuticals and biotech products because they have to be, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time. Just because I don't believe in medicine in one area doesn't mean I don't think it's needed in another or for
Yeah.
another person because everybody's different. But the truth is, with medication comes side effects. And
Mhm.
with some natural products come side effects. Like one of the things I do a lot is like we have a detox product with Clean Slate. Some people will get tired when they're using that at first. I had this just increased energy, right? And if you say to me, "Well, that's your product. Why did you try your product?" I always try a new product I work on, and
Absolutely.
sometimes I will use it for the rest of my life or use it, off and on during the week, and sometimes I don't. I'm being really candid, and I think that's hard. Probably the companies I work with don't like me saying that, but it's the truth. But like I expressed to you, like Clean Slate is cleaning, helping the body clean. And then the Relive Greens that we have, one of the reasons that was important to me, I told you I had the pituitary tumor. And
Mhm.
I had studied that in the connection to the thyroid as well, and
Mhm.
getting rid of the toxins in the body. Before I was 26, I really never even thought about it. Like you just
Yeah.
don't. And now we're seeing such an increase in thyroid issues, an increase in brain tumors, increase in colon cancer. I could go on and on because I helped participate in some of the stuff with the Human Genome Project. And it's just our genetics, right, are just going back to what you said, there's toxins everywhere and not to be
Yeah.
scared of them. We just need to get them out of our body. And they do make your organs of the body not work as effectively. And so when you look at the brain and you look at the heart and you look at, your GI and you look at the thyroid and all the hormones and everything attached, once one is off, they're all off.
Mhm.
And I say that
Absolutely.
constantly. So I love what you're doing and to take this approach for women. I think it's phenomenal. I would love our audience. I say this constantly. Anyone that's on the products that I've worked on or other products, um, it doesn't matter if they're mine or not. You should see a functional or integrative med or someone that really understands that area of healthcare because it is an area of healthcare, right?
Mhm.
It's truly a
Absolutely.
different area and it's not less than a traditional area. It's something that's extremely important and can be a game changer and a life changer. So I think that's wonderful. Let me ask you how you fit that in with your kids. How do you fit
Yeah.
what you do with having all these children?
There is a lot of delegation. I am a huge delegator. And when I delegate something, I truly let it go. And kind of like I shared with you on my podcast, I do things that make increase my productivity.
Yeah,
Zone in is a perfect example. I
yeah,
harness a lot of cognitive power and the opportunities that I have it like so many other moms. And then when I'm done, I'm done. And it's time to connect with my family. And drawing those boundaries is key to being able to create the balance that I need to show up as a parent, but also for my patients and my team.
I love that answer because I feel like that's how I've been I don't want to say I haven't been successful, but I feel like that's how I've been able to achieve the things I needed to achieve was by delegating and trusting people to do it. But I can tell you, and I'm going to ask you the question first before I answer it. What do you do if people don't do? Because you must have my personality. When I give something, I expect for it to be done, right?
Yeah.
Like in my mind, that's off my plate.
Yep.
We're a team. I ask you, please get this done. Even with my children, if I say I need this done, and
Mhm.
they don't, I'm frustrated because that's not on my agenda anymore. And
Mhm.
we all have to contribute to this world, right? We all have to work. So what happens if someone does not fulfill their obligation when you assign them a task or assign them something that has to get done that makes, and I just want to say this because your job's important. You're trying to help
Yeah.
people's lives. So when
Yeah.
someone doesn't do their job, that's
Mhm.
impacting how your whole practice is being managed. So how do you handle that?
It's interesting. I mean, at this point, our team is incredibly solid, and I give them so much autonomy that they would almost shoot themselves in the foot, I
Yeah.
think. Like, I give them so much liberty to either do their work well or not, that
Yeah.
the people that aren't going to do their work show up pretty quickly, and we know they're not really a good
Yeah.
fit for our team. But we hire for character more than,
Yeah.
the specifics of their knowledge, and that works out most of the time.
Think so too. I
Yeah.
think it's more of and a character fit in a company
Mhm.
and who they
Mhm.
are. Because I do believe intelligent people, you can teach them almost anything, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And there's so many intelligent people in this world,
Mhm.
but the morals and the compass and the ethics, you have to be invested in it, and you can't be pushing it off on someone else. And we're very fortunate too, but I'm like you, we usually recognize it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one of the things we do, we try to move them into different positions because sometimes it's just
Mhm.
not the right fit in a
Totally.
company and the person's really good at what they do. But I always love learning from people. And I loved your answer because I feel like that was one of even the last 3 years of my life. That's been a change for me. I used to interview
Mhm.
based on just a resume.
Mhm.
And now I realize, okay, just because they went to Harvard or Yale or Johns Hopkins, which I love all those schools, but it doesn't mean they're going to produce, right?
Yeah.
There has to be this heart, ethics, moral. You have to be passionate. I love, love, love your model of hiring people that have had an issue because they're
Yeah.
empathetic and they
They are.
care. So I
Yeah.
think it's wonderful. So what would be your kid's biggest complaint? I have to
Oh,
ask. So you said
my
that.
kids, it would probably be that they all don't have their own bathroom, and there's six of them, which is wildly unfair.
My kids probably would be like, we want my mom to rest more. That's like my kids are
Mm.
older. And so at
Yeah.
this point in their life, they're always like, Mom, we want you to take a break. And here's my answer to that. If I took a break, we wouldn't be helping people and we
Yeah.
wouldn't be having the ability to live the way we live or to help the
Mhm.
people we help, you know? And
Mhm.
so that's probably my kids do have their own bathroom, so they couldn't complain about that.
Good. I'm
But
glad
hey,
we've got
I
that
did.
checked.
Growing up in my house, we all shared the same bathroom. My mother, my father, my sister and brother, we had one bathtub in our house. True
Yeah,
story. And I
I
turned out
believe it. I think you turned out better, you know?
having to take a bath and wait for a bath, it's part of life, right? Not having
Mhm.
things perfect. And that's
Yeah,
what I think is so interesting about you having children because children see things in this amazing way. I feel like my children have helped me be a better person the way
absolutely.
around. But every time there's something that's a negative, I'm like, life is not here to make you happy all the time.
Yeah.
Life is a journey and you have to learn lessons. And I am so thankful for you sticking with, honestly, your mission to help
Mm.
people. Because if someone wasn't doing what you're doing, then not as many people would be better. And I have to tell you, in the community that we have a lot of people with thyroid issues. So
Yeah.
I will be recommending them to go to you. I always try to find doctors, scientists, nurses, health coaches, anyone that can really help people because
Yeah.
there's such a need right now and there's such a lack of it. And our health issues have not, unfortunately, gotten as good as we thought they would. No matter how much medication's out there, no matter how many vaccines, we still have a lot of sick people. And
Mhm.
so, anyway, thank you for your time today. And thank you for being just a beautiful person that's really helping women, honestly, and people out there. I think it's amazing. It really is.
Thank you. Same for you. I so appreciate your work and the love that you're just putting out into the world.
Thank you. We're going to put everything about you. I'll probably have you back again, and then I'll talk to our group. But we have a university. We kind of took a pause on it, but where the leaders from all the countries come and we do talk. So I'd love to have you on that at some point because they're always asking me to be their doctor. I'm not their doctor, right? I'm a scientist that developed the products, and then I want them to go to someone that has the answers. When you have 300,000 people that are using your products on a month, you can't answer their question. It's first
Yeah.
of all, it shouldn't be because they're my products, right? But then second of all, they really need to be directed to the right people. And it's hard for me to always find the right people. When we first did this, my vision was let's find the right doctors, let's find the right PAs, nurse practitioners, let's send them in the mental
Mhm.
health area, in the hormone health area for thyroids, cardiovascular. And we just took off so fast we weren't
Mhm.
able to do that. So now we're going back and we're trying to make sure that we do that. And again, I tell people it's not like I want a doctor to use every product I have. I want them to try it to see what's right for their patients. And that
Yeah.
means some patients it will work and some it won't, right?
Mhm.
And that's really where the marketing part, I feel like we've got to get back to medicine. It can't just be a social media video that says take this and you're going to get better. It's got to be a scientific and medical discussion. So thank you for your time today. You are so needed. You're so important, and I mean that. And I think people will listen to you. So I think that's another female that can really be in a position you already are, but to just do amazing things for the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dr. Baum.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.